In the basement because the water is the conductor, okay?
You do a lot of different things. Can you just kind of list out what are some of the things that you do?
Yeah, I was at an actual event not long ago, and I was introduced with an unbelievably long tagline. Suzanne Worthley is a sensitive. That means I can sense things. That I was a psychic, and that was a hard word for me for a very long time. However, I think that I own that now in terms of my psychic abilities are pretty strong. They called me a medium, and that one bothered me a lot because I didn't feel like I was the Long Island medium, because I don't necessarily, walk up to everybody all day long and go, hey, your grandma's over your shoulder. But I do have the ability to hear a lot of people and or spirit energies very clearly, so I guess I own that now. A healer is what, and an energy practitioner is what I own the most. Anything to do with energy, I do own the most. And then a hospice vigil or a death doula is what they say. Not unlike a birth doula, I help them go to the death side of the process in terms of energy. And then energy clearer or land clearer. So again, it does go on and on and on, but they're all the same thing. It's just working with energy and working with spirit.
How did you get started in this? Because I'm sure everyone asks you that question.
Way back when I was young, my father was a mortician, or is still, even at 80, is a mortician. And so my family was very used to death and dying. And the conversation of death and or spirit was really something that was normal around our dinner table. And so being very intuitive, very in tune to those energies was really our normal in our household all along. And I think that that just kind of maintained throughout my life. But as I got older, I started to be introduced to actually energy, and then that turned into kind of a passion in educating myself on energy work, which then turned into an actual job, if we can say that, in terms of being an energy healer and an energy worker.
You've had a feel for it since you can remember, since you were young, but you were actually working in the corporate world for a long time.
Long time, yeah.
So what made your transition?
I started to dabble with it when a friend of mine introduced me to what's called hands-on healing, and that's technically when you do this energy work with your hands on an actual body. And she was a hands-on practitioner, an RN, and she introduced me to it. And as I started to study and started to look into it, it was just something that my, what we call cell memory, knew. I knew a lot of this somewhere deep inside my subconscious. I knew it, and that turned into really the need almost to practice. And as I practiced, I used family and friends first, and then it just became very apparent to me that this corporate world didn't feel as comfortable as this metaphysical world. And I was fortunate enough to be working with lovely people that allowed me to transition out very slowly and long term, so that I had a smooth transition, because it definitely was two different vibrations of energy. And it definitely is a different change of a lifestyle. And when your kid goes to school and says, hey, what does your mom do? Your child goes, well, it's kind of hard to put into words. It's not a real job description that most people are comfortable with. Every time I do a presentation, especially this one, I ask if everyone would just take 1 minute, because of the fact that when we work with light energy, we have the potential for dark energy. And that isn't a scare, and it isn't ooh-ah about demons and darkness. What it just simply means is that I choose to work in love and in light. So if everyone would just do me one favor, and this isn't a huge big thing, but what I would like you to do is just get comfortable in your chair for 1 minute.
What is happening here tonight?
Well, I think we're here for a couple of reasons. One of the goals is to actually educate our audience on what a ghost actually is, and if there's actually a difference between a ghost and a spirit, which in my world of energy, there is indeed a difference. So our goal here is to teach them what a ghost is and why the energies are the way that they are, and what that different energy of a spirit actually is, because the vibration is two completely different things. The difference between a ghost and a spirit is simply this. One is heavy density, one is light density. When it comes to heaviness, the ghost energies are trapped here for many different reasons. You'll find tonight as we progress through this is very many serious questions about death and dying will come out. People have a very big fear about losing their loved one and the connection to them once they are gone. And I think what this does is it proves to them of sorts, in energetic / sort of scientific terms, they can't go anywhere, and how they are omnipresent and how they are with us. And it's that actually us. It's us that is the one that does not allow. We're the ones that don't allow the receiving of that love energy once somebody's gone, because again, we are trained to see, touch, and feel, and gosh, if my mom isn't here in 3D, I can't have a relationship. And I think what this class often does is it demystifies that.
What would you hope for yourself for the future?
I would hope for myself that this message gets out more. I had a wonderful gentleman not long ago that said, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Why doesn't anybody know about this? Is it new? And I almost fell off my chair. This goes back to the ancient seers. This has been around since the beginning of time. My goal before my lifetime is, whether it's me or it, I would love to see this accepted in the hospitals. I would love to see a healer walking through and clearing energies after a patient is in a room. I would love to see people retained and on staff to teach the death process. I would love the message to get out so much louder and stronger that this is not scary stuff. It's real and it's empowering. It isn't woo-woo, it isn't magic, it's real energy, and it can be very empowering, and it can be very dangerous in terms of your health. Get this information so that you can self-heal. Get off the meds, get off the craziness, get out of the cycle of madness that we're in as a human race, and start to take care of oneself, because the better you are here, the easier death process will be. They don't know where to go or how to find the light. Nobody tells us in third grade, hey, A, there is a light, B, you get to go, C, you should go, okay? Nobody really tells you that. And if you don't have a family that even talks about it, and you don't even know that you're supposed to find the light, just think you're kind of out there going, what? And so you have to understand, yes, there is a light, and you do indeed get to go, okay? There are miracles every day in front of your face, but you can't necessarily see, touch, or feel them. Start to remember what it felt like to be a kid. Regenerate that inner child magic and command miracles in your life. And then when they appear, two things. Don't not believe them because you asked for it. So you got it, and then be grateful. So openness and gratitude will change the way that your world exists. And then you will start to understand this co-creation is mine, it's my birthright. And that's when it starts to get fun.